So I've kind of noticed this thing for basically a couple seasons now, and it keeps popping up, especially when there's GMs around, and I've noticed a lot doing GM helps for every platform, which, by the way, you can find at twitch.tv/sneakybeaver with 2 S's. Anyway, I've noticed a lot of people know that Warmind cells are insane, and I also noticed there's equally as many people that have no idea how they work or how just bonkers they are. So I thought, you know what, why not do a video for this, explain how they work, how the mods work, what makes them crazy, and maybe more people will start using them, especially before Bungie just nerfs them into the ground and I cry myself to sleep. Okay, so let's begin with basics. I'm going to play a GM Devil's Lair video for you guys, a run, and you will see just how bonkers they are. Just pay attention to when Warmind cells explode, and then in the middle of the screen to see how many kills you get, and you'll see what I mean. But before that, I want to go over how you use them, what the mods are, etc, etc, etc. So, let's start this off with an example. Here is how Warmind cells are at their base form. And here's Warmind cells when you use the mods. Now, you'd think I'm exaggerating a little bit based on the clip you just saw, but no, I'm not. Not at all, actually. So let's get into it. Ignore any subclass-related character things, that doesn't apply here. All you're going to look at is some weapons and the mods. So let's go to the mods first. Void, Solar, and Arc Warmind cell mods. We're going to just start with the generic, which is Global Reach, which is across all 3. Global Reach basically makes your Warmind cell go from a fizzy bottle opening to a nuclear explosion in radius distance. So you always want to have this on when you're running a Warmind cell build, no matter what. Just always. Then we got the Void related ones. So we'll start with Grasp. Basically, you can carry a Warmind cell and then chuck it somewhere where you want to do DPS. Why DPS matters? Well, you'll see in a second. First, we got Cellular Suppression. Essentially, if you have a Warmind cell on the ground, you can shoot it, and then it'll give off like a Cellular Suppression burst, which then blinds the enemies around it for a couple of seconds. Basically, a Suppression Grenade perk. Then, the DPS I was talking about, you have Power of Rasputin. You gain bonus damage against enemies that are near Warmind cells. So, if you take a Warmind cell and it pops near a boss, or a spider tank, whatever it may be, if it's in the radius, you suddenly do more damage to that target. Really handy, right? Just wait. Then you have the slightly less popular but still usable Warmind's Protection. Essentially, it's Protective Light, but you have a Warmind cell on the ground for you to not take damage, which is, by the way, this, in case you didn't know. Technically speaking, it's a little better with a Warmind cell build because you don't have to wait till you're low health to reduce damage that you take. But, yeah. And then Longevity, which makes your Warmind cells last longer. Not really that crazy, but still usable. Now, let's go to Solar and Arc. Honestly, I'm just going to tell you guys right off the bat, Arc is pretty trash. Not even going to sugarcoat it. 95% of Arc Warmind cell mods are just not good. They're not practical, they're not stackable, they're not meta, quote-unquote. So I'm just straight up not even going to tell anybody to actually run these. You could. I'm sure there's a super sketch scenario where they would come in handy, but for the most part, they aren't very good. So let's just go to Solar. Now, this is where it all happens. This is the beauty. This is the massacre that you will do when you start using these. Let's start off with an okay one, you know. Rapidly defeating targets with the detonation of Warmind cell generates an orb. That's cool, you know. Get your super faster, get charged with light. Not bad, not bad. Alright. Burning cells. Destroying Warmind cell creates a burst of solar energy that causes enemies to burn for several seconds. So on top of your explosion, you make them burn too. Neat. Now this next one is where it starts getting nutty. Rafter Rasputin. This is the one that Banshee sold recently. I hope everybody got it. Solar splash damage. Final blows have a chance to create Warmind cells. This goes to insanity on so many scales. As you'll see in the video, not only the solar splash damage final blows have a chance to make a Warmind cell, but then a Warmind cell itself exploding is also solar damage. So if a Warmind cell kills enough ads, that Warmind cell will make another Warmind cell. It literally self-produces Warmind cells. That is insane! Also, you have one that heals you. Look at that. Destroying Warmind cell creates a burst of healing for you and your allies. Wow, that's nuts. And finally, we have another incredible one. Adds additional solar damage to the explosion of Warmind cells you destroy. Rage of the Warmind. So, Rage of the Warmind and the Wrath of Rasputin is the deadly combo. It is the wombo combo of Warmind cells. It's like you took Jordan and LeBron and fused them together like it's Dragon Ball Z, and then they took on an army of 100 Monstars from Space Jam, and then they just shit on them in one dunk. Yeah, great basketball analogy. So for the sake of not making this a 3-hour video, we're just going to focus on 2 weapons here, which is Ichelus SMG and Xenophage. Obviously, this will include any Ichelus weapon or any Seraph weapon to make Warmind cells, so don't worry about that. It's not assigned to this gun specifically. I'm just showing you footage of what I use so you know what I'm talking about. So, not only are Warmind cells nuts, but you can actually combo tricks into your equation to make them come out in ridiculous ways. For example, if you place a Wither Horde down on the floor, or an Anarchy Chop down on the floor, and let's say 5 Thralls walk into it and die, and you have your Ichelus SMG out as your current weapon, it'll make a Warmind cell, because it counts as you killing them with Ichelus SMG for whatever reason. I don't know. It's been like this forever, and I doubt it's ever going to change. That's a good thing to know. On top of that, like I mentioned to you earlier, Wrath of Rasputin and Rage of the Warmind combine, basically saying any solar splash damage counts towards a Warmind cell, including a Warmind cell exploding and killing other targets to make another Warmind cell. So, here comes Xenophage, that is literally a weapon of solar explosions in every single bullet. Did I mention it holds 32 bullets? Did I mention Aeon gauntlets exist? Oh, right. Yeah, I just did. So, you combine this with any Warmind weapon, Seraph or Ichelus, doesn't matter. You could be literally any one you want, including Ichelus Sniper, by the way, which is solar, and just go nuts on everything. If it's a champion, hey, you can use a Xenophage to knock it down. And guess what? If Xenophage kills that champion, guaranteed Warmind cell. Yes, guaranteed. 1 yellow bar kill with a Xeno is a guarantee cell explosion. That's kind of nuts, don't you think? Especially when you have unlimited ammo, thanks to Aeons. So as you're seeing in this video, I'm going to be using Xeno quite a bit, along with the SMG, but mainly Xeno quite a bit. And you'll just see I pop one ball, and then half the room explodes, and the kill counter in the middle of my screen just goes off like a slot machine. You can just do this in any strike, any activity. Gambit, well, not Crucible, obviously. let's relax there. But Gambit, Vanguard strikes, Nightfalls, raids, dungeons, Empire hunts, Nightmare hunts, even though nobody's done them for the last, like, 8 months. But hey, I ain't judging. But that's the general idea. And a lot of people, at least in my experience, don't know about this. They just think Warmind cells are like this little tiny plaything that you just pop in a Vanguard strike, and maybe you kill one ad, and that's it. But no, no, no. Once you actually use the mods, they become literal machine guns. Well, I guess in this case it would be laser beams from, like, orbital depth, but you get the idea. And the longer this video goes on, I think you'll just keep seeing how not only is it an ad clearing, let's go with Abomination, but with weapons like Xenophage, you can also just get away with doing tons of DPS very, very easily. Oh, and then you can just have a third slot for, like, a sniper rifle if you want any more damage. Yeah, that's pretty damn good. Now, one more thing I'll say is there's other things, less noticeable things that you can do to make Warmind cells. For example, if you have Tear of Heaven, which is the bow from Last Wish, and it has Dragonfly or Explosive Head, that will technically count as solar splash damage. And guess what? You're gonna make a Warmind cell. Hey, Sunshot can make solar splash damage. Guess what? More Warmind cells. That's right. I think you get the picture at this point. So I highly, highly recommend you guys toy around with Warmind cells. If you want to see my build, I'll just show that here real quick and then come back to the footage. So for example, my Warlock has Global Reach, Wrath of Rasputin, High Energy Fire, Region of Warmind, and Taking Charge. Obviously, Taking Charge and High Energy Fire could be literally anything else. For example, I can put on Void here and then go Power of Rasputin. So anytime I do make a cell, everything around that cell becomes even weaker. So let's say you kill like 12 red bar ads and spawn a cell, but then there's a yellow bar right next to that new cell, and it's a captain, and you overload stun him. Now that captain is weak under your Warmind cell. You kill him faster, and then the room's just clear. And if there's more ads after the captain, hey, guess what? Just explode that nuclear bomb on the floor, and yeah, bye-bye. So, that's the general idea. I think I got my point across. Hope you guys enjoy. I hope you try out your Warmind cell mods if you haven't already. I guarantee you, you're gonna have a blast. Get it? You're gonna have a blast. Okay, I'll show myself out. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, or if you get a new happiness in life because of Warmind cells, a like and a sub would be appreciated. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in stream at twitch.tv/ssneakybeaver. Oh, final note. I seem to do this a lot. Sorry. Last note, though, the reason you don't hear like the actual in-game sound of the actual run is because the MCA sucks, and well, it is what it is. But I'll play some nice Destiny music in the background instead. All right, enjoy.